Hello everyone, today I'm going to be sharing with you what I think would be the ultimate Gears of War experience. I'm setting aside budgets and talent it would take to build this game, but I am including necessary evils to make this kind of game possible. In this video I'll be talking about classes, horde modes, customization, leveling and the store. I will make another video discussing my ideal Gears of War campaign and versus modes. So let's begin with classes. Classes will be slightly different from how they are now. Some classes will be merged into each other, such as the robot experts and the mechanic. There will be no more perks, and you can equip 10 cards. Some cards would change how the ultimate fires off. An example would be the combat medic. With a card called Stim Gas, when activating the power, it does a normal revive, but if you hit it again, the ultimate turns into Stim Gas, which emits from your character to constantly heal and revive players around you. Of course, the duration of the ultimate would need to be increased in this scenario. This would come in handy when your position is overrun and your teammates need help. Another example would be the Anchor. A card called Drop Shield would allow the player to drop the shield after clicking the ultimate again, placing the barrier in a place where the enemies cannot penetrate. Another example would be Demolitions. They would have a card called Overwhelming Strike. This would change the ultimate to deliver a massive missile strike at a specific location. The player would pinpoint where they want the missile to land and it would hit there a second later on confirmation. A bit like firing a boomer shot or something like that. And the final example would be the Engineer class could choose whatever DB they would want to use. This would include all DBs, so they can call in a squad of regular DBs with the Enforcer, a heavy DB with either a tri-shot or a missile launcher, or a Sentinel or two heavy DBs with overkills. The cards would alter how the ultimates work, creating a dynamic class structure, which creates a variety in the gameplay. TC has touched on this slightly, but I think it needs more depth to it. Horde. This would be the normal Horde mode, but you can select what enemies you want to fight. For example, the Locust, including all the monsters, the Swarm, and all the DBs, all random, which includes all of them. There will be added objectives to the mode to keep it a bit more varied. See my previous video on how to improve Nexus Siege for more details on my ideal Horde mode. Sieges. Sieges would be the new escape mode. Basically, a team of players need to take a location from the Swarm, Locust, or DBs. There will be an optional objectives to win buffs to players. The gameplay would be a push to take a location, then the enemies push back, then the players need to either defeat them or fall back to a previous location. An example would be the Siege of Nexus in Gears of War 2. So pushing to take out the Queen, encountering enemies and problems. This will keep the players engaged, especially the players who just play the campaign. So moving on to customization. Customization will be quite different in my ideal Gears of War game. It would operate more like Gears of War Tactics. You would have your own gear to customize. If you wanted to look like Marcus, you can. Or if you wanted Dom's head on Marcus's armor, you can. The customization will be split into headgear, facial hair, makeup, tattoos, torso armor, leg armor, arm armor, undertop, underlegs, and voice. All the armor can be customized, meaning you can change the color, materials, patterns. This also extends to the weapons, but they are only cosmetic changes only. Every single piece of armor from the current Gears of War timeline would be free to unlock in the base game by leveling up. Armor that we have seen before will not be resold to us in a store. Also, all colours, materials and patterns would be already unlocked for every armour and would not be sold in the store either. I believe the player base would be amazed at this level of customization in a third-person game. Leveling. Honestly, I really do not like the leveling up in Gears of War. It feels like a pointless grind to get to 100 and then to unlock a skin. What I want is a reward for leveling up every time. This is where you can put the customization stuff. There will not be a grind to unlock everything. A person could spend 50 to 80 hours in the game to unlock every piece of armor, under armor, and voices and heads and everything that has ever been in a previous Gears of War game. There will be no more re-ups as it's pointless now. So let's move on to the store. As no previous armor, heads, voices, hairstyles, facial hairstyles and the like would appear in the store, This forces TC to be creative with what they sell, creating unique armor, heads, voices, etc. They will not be reselling anything from the previous installments of Gears of War. Because of the uniqueness of this content, it would only be purchasable with money, as it is in addition to the game. The prices would be fair and not over the top. A unique character could cost around £5, this means you'll be getting all the armor pieces, the hairstyles and the voices. I think this is like $10 in America. These prices would get most people to purchase them, as they are rather cheap, and in the long run TC would make more money. This allows TC to keep supporting the game, which is more free DLC, as well as new modes for PvE and PvP. Conclusion. For me, this would be a great game to play if it was set up like this. I know not everyone is going to like it, but I think it sounds fun to me. Please like the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.